During Melbourne Airport's peak, there's an average of one plane every 60 seconds. Managing their comings and goings is an elite team of Air Services Australia air traffic controllers. From their tower vantage point, 75 metres above the ground, they're in constant communication with pilots to ensure safe, reliable and efficient operations right around the clock. And our cameras have been given access to their inner sanctum.
Tug Purple 2, give way to the China Eastern A330, they're turning north into Alpha.
It looks very all calm and on the rails, but there's a lot of decisions being made by those controllers every second.
I'm going to go taxi Golf Sierra to the bay.
With every radio call, controllers account for runway traffic and weather conditions,
18 knots,
as well as the altitude and velocity of each and every plane.
They're either really slow and final or really quick.
And with around 100,000 passengers arriving or departing here every day, there can be no lapses in concentration.
It's 100% or nothing, there's no room for error.
QX 79 ground left into Victor, then Tango, hold short of Papa.
Air traffic control requires a very specific skill set.
So just give way to that 7-8 passing under tow.
Melissa has been an Air Services Australia controller for 14 years.
You have to be able to scan an environment and process information and draw information out of that environment. But then you also need to be able to devise a plan really quickly out of that. You know, it's on the runway just before car 2A firm, hold short of runway 16. Cathay 134, follow the Jetstar 320 on Echo to holding point Papa, runway 27. You know, only a certain amount of people in the world have the brain capacity to do air traffic control.
To complete this part of the training, each of the 21 recruits need to remain in the container for 20 minutes.
So everybody stay to the side.
If these trainee recruits can't stand the heat, they won't be able to graduate. It's a cool 20 degrees at Melbourne Airport today. But for the ARF recruits in training, temperatures have reached a scorching 400 degrees Celsius.
It sounds so bizarre, but I didn't really feel very hot at all. The protective equipment that we wear and also our heat management that we do makes it so that our bodies are prepared for that heat.
The recruits have all passed the test, toughing out the 20 minutes of extreme heat and live flame.
My day has been amazing. Best day yet. The first time seeing fire like that, the behaviour of fire and how it progresses.
When you've done that, take your fly shield off.
I think I had any expectations, but if I did, they're blown out of the water for sure.
They're all one step closer to graduating.
With the recruits, there's no guarantee that they will pass the course. They need to work really hard and they need to pass all the assessments and do it safely. We give them everything they need, but they have to actually meet the mark.
At the Border Force checkpoint, John's instinct about a passenger has proven right, after multiple cartons of tobacco and a taser were found in his luggage.
So the examination's concluded. He's out of the interview room now, so he's just being processed over there. He'll be given a seizure notice for the items that have been seized. So I do believe that there were a few more prohibited items that were located during the examination. Have a quick look at that. Oh, wow. We've got some tasers. We've got 3 of that type and 2-prong one. And then they found this that appears to be a signal jamming device with some antennas. It looks like it's straight out of the 80s, but yeah, it's used to block any radio signals, any mobile device signals. And again, prohibited import. He claimed that he had no idea what it was for and he uses it for his blood pressure. This information will be shared with other external agencies because it might be part of a bigger investigation. Could be a missing link somewhere, could be bringing it in for some organised crime gangs and whatnot. So, yeah, it's just another piece of the puzzle.
After 2 decades on the job, John's intuition remains as strong as ever.
My hunch was right. Still got it.
20 minutes after the plane landed, the first of the air stalls arrive at IRT.
Because this was a charter flight, it was a special flight, so it went London, picked up horses in London, then picked up horses in Amsterdam, then continued to Doha, and then direct from Doha to Melbourne. Would have been about 24 hours. Normally a flight from Europe would be closer to 28 to 30.
Now the carefully orchestrated processing begins.
Michelle, so put these 2 in, then bring those forward and put these 2 behind it.
From here, the yellow team begins the delicate task of unloading the horses and transferring them to waiting trucks.
They're just going to wait to unload the other 2, and then they'll bring these in. Well, there's always pressure every time you move any horse. The most important thing with moving this many horses is making sure the process is as streamlined and fast as possible. The longer the horses are in transit, the more likely there is for them to have an issue. The loading and unloading process, that's always the most dangerous part, making sure horses can load safely. The most important thing is avoiding stress on the horses. So really for us here, it's all about speed. Come in, unload straight onto the truck so they can get to quarantine and get checked over by the vet to make sure they've had a good journey. We like to make sure it's a smooth, quick process and as safe as possible for the horses, because at the end of the day, that's the most important part.
But the horses are unaware of the time pressure and moving to their own schedule. Jade and Ellen search an area where illegal items can easily be concealed.
So this is the crew rest area. So it's above the passengers sitting below. And it's where crew come to basically rest over long haul flights. So we just have a quick look through, turn over some mattresses, look in some pouches to see if we can find anything that crew might have left behind for other people to get. So it's always a good spot for us to look.
After completing a thorough check of the aircraft...
Yeah, we're just going to disembark now.
For their next assignment, the team will be assisted by the Australian Border Force Dog Unit.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this next flight.
A flight from LA has just landed, and the dogs will assess any bags of interest.
Basically anything from the United States we classify as high risk. You can make a case for almost any country in the world that could be high risk coming to Australia, but yeah, US in particular, obviously its connections with South America as well.
With Colombia alone recently exporting over $25 billion worth of cocaine, South American-grown narcotics are sold to the US, which can then enter the Australian market.
Yeah, so the dogs are running over all the arriving bags.
If the dogs pay particular attention to a bag, the Border Force officers need to act swiftly.
Heavy.
As one dog already reacts to a piece of luggage.
I think we may have hit something. Come here.
Has criminal activity just been sniffed out? The A380 can hold nearly 17,000 kilos of air freight, which can be almost anything.
We transport blood, vaccines, hearts, liver, organs, live animals like cats or dogs, alpacas, live goats, Tassie lobster, so seafood, abalone, fish, meat carcasses, seasonal fruit, and cars as well. We do cars as well. There was one Ferrari, I forgot what, but there was only 3 in the world, $30 million. Mate, the sky's the limit. When you're loading, It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Just fill it up, fill up the gap. You're wasting too much. Go, go, go. You gotta imagine all this freight going into that unit. Now, this is the balance. It's gonna drop. Remember, it's going up in the aircraft. It's not gonna stop up there and you're gonna say, re-strap it again. Once it's up, it's up. At the end of the day, it's got to hug. There's no gap. There's no movement.
The final items to be freighted have just arrived. 4 dogs. But Khalid has a problem with loading them on the pallets.
I don't know. I don't think they'll fit all on the PLA, man. They're big dogs, man. The dimension of the actual PLA, it won't fit all live dogs. Anything over 30 kilos.
Oh, this one, please.
Khalid will need to change the pallet size for the dogs. They are much bigger.
Hey, this guy's an elephant.
And heavier than he was expecting.
67 kilos.
With only hours left until takeoff, Khalid will need to find a solution to his pallet problems.